मोघाशा मोघ कर्माणो मोघ ज्ञाना विचेतसः राक्षसीम आसुरीम चैव प्रकृतिम मोहिनीम श्रिताः. Hello friends, this is the 12th shlok of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we will understand this shlok in detail. So let's first go over its meaning. So the shlok says, Moghasha mogh karmano, which means vain hope, vain deeds. Mogh jnana vichetasah, which means with vain knowledge, the outwardly conscious. Rakshasum asuri chaiva, which means are certainly monstrous and demonic. Prakritim mohinim shritaha, which means take shelter of deceptive nature. So, Shri Krishna over here is describing the situation of a person who is outwardly conscious, and he says that the hope or the deed or the knowledge of such a person is all vain, it is useless. Such a person actually ends up being in a state of being demonic, and for such a person this nature actually is all delusion. He gets deluded by this nature. So the point that Shri Krishna is making over here is very important in terms of understanding the idea of Mohini. So Mohini is the avatar of Vishnu, and she is mentioned in the churning of the ocean story in Hinduism. So from this shlok we can understand that story pretty well, what Mohini actually stands for and how she works, and she is the one who in that manner sustains this universe. So he is talking about the person who is outwardly conscious. Now a person who is outwardly conscious is a person who lacks something within himself, and in order to fulfill that lack in himself he looks outside. So he's looking outside because he feels some sort of a lacking within himself. Now this sort of a lacking arises because a person in his mistake starts to identify with his body, and he starts thinking that whatever is his body's or his egos, that is his, and the rest is not his. And so because the rest is not his, therefore he feels incomplete, and in order to feel complete, that rest has to become his. And so this way this vicious circle of the ego satisfaction then arises, wherein the ego wants something and it goes after getting that thing, and when it gets that thing he feels still incomplete, and he looks at something else and he says, okay, now if I'll have that thing then I will feel happy, and so then he goes after that. And so in this manner he gets stuck in this life wherein he's trying to expand his ego more and more and more, and he's trying to bring more and more things in his control. So he wants to then control this entire universe in order to feel complete, and because the ego is limited, therefore it is impossible for the limited ego to control everything. And so what happens is that such a person ends up frustrated, and in that frustration he starts to perform bad deeds, and that is what makes a person demonic, or you can say monstrous, wherein he really wants to expand his ego and he cannot expand his ego, and so he is frustrated and he starts to do bad things and things like that. So when a person is like that, all his deeds, all his hopes, all his knowledge is all vain, because he does not attain what he is actually trying to attain, which is satisfaction and happiness. That satisfaction and happiness can only be attained when you get rid of your ego. So that is what Shri Krishna is saying over here, that all his hopes, all his actions, all his knowledge is useless, because he is not able to attain anything. He only attains monstrous nature, or he attains demonic nature by doing that. So he is not able to attain the divine, and because he is not able to attain the divine, therefore he is limited to just his ego and his body, and his ego and his body is something which will die. So he is not able to attain the immortality that we are looking for. So in the story of the ocean churning, the same thing happens. The Devas and the Asuras, both of them try to churn the ocean, and they want to bring the nectar of immortality out of it. Now, if you are an Asur, then you are the kind of person who identifies with your ego, and because of that, you have a demonic nature, and you don't have the right perspective of at the things, and you bring instability in this universe. While if you are a Dev, then you are the one who realize the divine, and you are the one who have overcome the identification with the ego, and so you are the one who is bringing stability in this universe. So you have to think of this Asur and Dev to be the symbol of two different kind of people. One person is the one who is identifying with his ego and he wants to expand his ego. That person is an Asur. The Dev is a person who has overcome his ego and who wants to bring stability in this universe, and that is what is Dev. So he has obtained divinity. Now, when in this universe, both the kind of people actually are engaged in activity, and they are both that activity is to attain the happiness and attain the immortality, attain the divine that we are looking for. But actions are being going on by both the Asurs and Devs, and so that is what is represented by this divine churning of the ocean. And then basically, because the Devas and the Asuras, both of them had paid their share, have done their share of work, so they should get same outcome. So both of them should really get the nectar, but the nectar was only given by Mohini to the Devas, because it's the Devas who have realized that the immortality can only be attained when you kill your ego, and so they are the ones who get the nectar, while Mohini deludes the other ones, and the Asuras, they are not able to attain it because they are deluded. So they are deluded by Mohini. So that is what is the symbol over here. So Mohini gives the nectar to the Devas, but she doesn't give the nectar to the Asuras, because Asuras are identified with their ego. So even if you make a lot of effort for your ego, it is all going to go into waste, and you will not be able to attain immortality or the divinity. And that is what is the representation of Mohini. So Mohini in that sense tricks them. So if you were to do your actions for your own ego, then you will be tricked by Mohini, no matter what. So that is what is the message of this shlok. I hope that I have explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.